Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quick Take and welcome back to another video of me covering The Last of Us. Now, episode 5 arrived on Friday or Saturday morning, early morning for those in the UK, and I wasn't able to watch it that scared the shit out of me. As I was saying, I'm gonna mute. As I was saying, I wasn't able to catch it live. Oh fuck, I keep hitting I'm gonna take my hat off as well. I'm abusing the mic today. Holy shit. I wasn't able to catch it live. I was able to watch it after the fact though, and it was one of the strongest episodes, if not. I think it was up there with episode 1 as being the strongest episode so far, in my opinion. Could be wrong, could be right, depends who you are. Also, I'd love to say a quick thank you to everyone who's watched the last video. It is now nearly 3,000. It's nearly got 3,000 views and quite a lot of likes. And even some debates going on in the comments section. The woke of us is getting some traction. Let's just say that. If you know, you know. Yes, it was a very successful video. Very pleased. Bringing up the total channel views to 33,000, which I'm very proud of. Well done, everyone. Specifically me. No. Back to The Last of Us, though. Good episode, as I said. Very strong. We got to see a lot more of Henry and Sam. Gave us some backstory to their characters. Not like what they were like before the pandemic or whatever. But we did see kind of from their point of view, Ellie and Joel arriving in Kansas City, and we kind of got to see how close they were as brothers. And it made their story a lot more impactful to the viewers. And it was something that we didn't get in the games. In the games, we were just kind of introduced to Henry and Sam as boom, here's some new characters to get to know. But in this game, in the show, it felt a lot more personal between Henry and Sam and Joel and Ellie. I did feel like they connected a lot more than they did in the game. In the game, there's even a bit of a betrayal, but in the show, I don't think there is ever at that moment where there's a betrayal between the characters. In fact, I think there's even moments where characters are willing to sacrifice themselves for one another. So it did make their deaths a lot more impactful. This video is going to contain spoilers. It's a review of The Last of Us episode 5. You should be prepared for this by now, but they do die in the episode as they do in the game. I think it was a lot harder to watch in the show as well compared to the game. I mean, the game's no walk in the park when it comes to their deaths. You know, there is he kills Sam and then he shoots himself, and it's a very impactful moment for the players. And then it just kind of skips forward a couple of months, and boom, they're in Wyoming. And I don't know if they're gonna go down that same route. They got to go to Wyoming. Then after Wyoming, they go to the university. Then after the university, they have to deal with David. Then after they dealt with David, then they end up going to they do another forward flash, and we're at the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital. But that's looking forward to the future, and the next episode is going to be based around the Left Behind DLC. For those of you who play the DLC, this is going to be a very tough episode to watch, not because it's bad, but because of the character Riley. But I'll get into that in my review for episode 6. Fantastic, and we saw some more of Kathleen's character as well. We got some more backstory and how close she was with her brother. Not on a Game of Thrones kind of level where it was Jaime and Cersei, because that would just be weird. But you know, she was almost like a prelude to the character Abby, which would be coming in season 2, or maybe even hinted at the end of season 1. Because Abby was there when shit does go down in the hospital. Spoilers for those of you who haven't played the game, but there's a hospital and shit goes down. And Abby is there, and she is impacted by Joel's actions. Let's just say that. And she kind of loses it, and she tries to take out her anger on everyone and anybody who had anything to do with that certain character's untimely demise. And I thought it was well done. I didn't really like her character. She didn't really strike me as, hello, I am a leader for a rebellious group in a world where dog eats dog. You know, last man standing, strongest people win. You know, the character Kathleen, she never really exuded that charismatic authority. It was an idea first created by political theorist Max Weber. I learned this in high school. Well done, me. But one of the main things that gives people power is their charisma. It's what allowed Hitler to rise. I'm not comparing Kathleen to Hitler. Let's just get that over and done with right now. But I'm saying she doesn't really strike me as someone who would be elected. The only way I might have missed it in the episode, but the only way I can think that she may have rose to power is her brother might have been the leader, and it might have been an almost monarchical, is that even a word, kind of way where, the king dies, so the person who's next in line takes over. It's not necessarily who is elected to be the leader. I can't see her winning any elections, let's just put it that way. But her character also dies, along with Perry. Perry was played by the character who played Joel's brother in the game, a lovely guy called Tommy, who has his own trials and tribulations in part 2. But he died, and he was killed by the bloater. Yes! The first time we get to see a bloater in the Last of Us TV show. It was teased heavily in the trailer, and they pulled it off better than I could ever have imagined. In fact, I actually think it was 90%, well, it was probably 90 to 95% practical. They got this massive, almost Hafthor Bjornsson looking guy in the prosthetics, and it just looked incredible, and it really gave you a sense of how dangerous they are. They hurt. There's a scene where towards the end, it's almost it is reminiscent of the sniper scene, or the sniper part in the game, where I spent, I think actually over a day. I was stuck there for a day during my Let's Play The Last of Us, and it's quite a funny video. Go watch it. But it was really well done, and I liked how they did it. It was at night, so the fire kind of illuminated everything and gave everything a really kind of dark tone. Illuminated by fire, and obviously fire comes with its own themes. Fire represents danger and overwhelming force, and that was alluded to with the horde of infected that pops out of the hole after the ground collapses. And I don't actually know where the fuck they came from. Where was that, a sewer? I don't know. But we saw the bloater, as I said, and the bloater came out, and it was a tank. You couldn't, just like the game, you couldn't kill it with bullets. At least not with a clip full of bullets. No one was throwing any Molotovs at it, which rookie error. And it's not like it was dropping from any height, so it's not like you could shoot his leg out before it landed. These guys were fucked. But the rebellion died, along with many characters, including Perry, as I said, who had his bloody head ripped off, which is actually one of the ways that the bloater kills you in the game. It grabs you and then kind of rips your head off, or at least rips your head in half. Oh my god, that was such a brutal death. Oh, so beautiful, wonderful. Well done, guys, everyone who worked on that, by the way. That was just excellent to watch. Not from like I love this, but wow, that was really well done. And then I think they had some gymnast kid who played one of the kid clickers. I don't know I've never seen a kid become a clicker in the game. I guess even then that would be a bit too dark. But that was a really horrible scene to watch. The way the kid moved, and how it used its echolocation. Like, you usually see that from a full-grown person who've turned into a clicker, but not from a kid. That just adds like another level of unease when watching it. Kids are rather vulnerable, and we want to keep them safe. And when you see them acting in that manner and trying to kill you in that manner, it's just horrible. And the kid ends up killing Kathleen, which I think is a fitting end to her character. She wasn't the best character in terms of her morals. She had no issue killing kids. A lot like George Bush. No, I'm joking. The makeup department outdid themselves in this episode. Let's just say that. They had a lot to do, and they rose to the challenge. They should be very proud of themselves. I'm sure they are. But I also wanted to mention something about Bella Ramsey. As you know, Bella Ramsey plays Ellie, and she's had some criticism throughout the season so far. Some people have not been that happy with her performance as Ellie so far. I think it's fair to say. I haven't really had any issues with it. The only time I've had issues with it was, I don't think it was even her fault. It was when she was trying to play Ashley Johnson's Ellie instead of her own portrayal of Ellie in the car scene. I think in the previous episode where she finds the magazine and they were kind of doing word for word from the game, which I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed, but I actually didn't enjoy that. I think they should have just, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what they should have done, but I just didn't like hearing the same dialogue, and I just didn't think it fit Bella Ramsey's Ellie, you know. But moving on, as I said, I really think she's starting to grow into her role at this point. I mean, we're 6 episodes deep, and she must have obviously spent a lot of time in the character Ellie. And there's a scene where, towards the end of the episode, the scene where Henry and Sam die, she really brings out her A game in terms of her emotions and acting, and the almost little helpless yelp she gives as Henry commits suicide after killing his brother. Well, his brother was already dead, but after killing his brother and just realizing that he'd lost everything, because his brother was the only thing that was keeping him going in that sense. His brother was his Ellie in that sense, you know. And he had nothing else to live for. And as I said, he commits suicide, and Bella emits this sound as tears are rolling down her face, and that was a pivotal moment for me in terms of how she is portraying Ellie and how well she's doing, and I thought it was a really well done scene, and everyone came together to work on it, and Bella really shone through, in my opinion. But Joel's character has also been taking some things from other characters. I think he's wearing Frank's shirt, and he's also now bearing Henry's backpack, which is also the same one from the game as well. But it's nice that he's picking up other characters' items as they go along. As each character dies, he takes something from them, not like in a malicious way, but you know, it's like Walter White in Breaking Bad. I'm sure many of you have seen Breaking Bad, but there's a thing where after killing Crazy 8, Walter then cuts off the crusts from his sandwiches. After killing Gus, whenever he throws up or he's going to throw up, he places a towel under his knees. You know, it's these little mannerisms that they take from characters that build that character in itself. That's really good to see, and I hope that it's influenced by it, because Breaking Bad is one of the best TV shows ever. I think that's not just because of the fucking Sigma memes and how that are now popular on YouTube and TikTok and that kind of stuff, and Instagram. But before then, Breaking Bad was renowned as one of the best TV shows going. And so I don't see a problem with them taking any inspiration from greatness in that sense. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode. I realized episode 5 was a longer episode, which kind of fucks over my watch this before you watch The Last of Us video where I went through the run times for each episode. I guess that source was just bullshitting me in terms of the run time. I don't know, because I only had like 2 episodes going to be like around about an hour, and the rest will be in like 54 minutes to 49. But oh well, I'm not complaining. I prefer the longer episodes. I want to see as much of the show as I possibly can, and there's only 9 episodes to cram it all together, and season 2 is got to be at least 13, 14, if not 2 seasons, and I think they could really do with 2 seasons. The first season just following kind of Ellie and Dina, and then setting up Abby's story, or really setting up Abby's point of view for season 2. I think that'd be quite a cool way of going about it. But yeah, just an idea at the end. Let me know how you thought about the episode. I'm going to give it a solid 9.3. This was a really good episode, and if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. I was really, really impressed with it. As I said, great storytelling. The development of these characters is further and further forward as time progresses, and we're gonna see a lot more of Bella Ramsey as Ellie in episode. What episode are we on now? 6. In episode 6, the Left Behind episode. When we see her and her story with Riley, that's gonna be really hard for some people to watch, but please do. You're gonna see greatness. But yeah, that's my final score, 9.3. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did like the video, please like the video. It's the little button down there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I haven't checked the analytics yet, but I'm sure at least 80% of you aren't subscribed. That's just a guess. So if you aren't already, please subscribe below. I'm a small channel. And comment down below what you thought of this episode. How do you think Bella Ramsey's doing as Ellie? Are you looking forward to episode 6? What do you want to see in that episode? And how do you think the show's going so far? Honestly, I think it's going quite well. There hasn't been any stinkers. This has been a lovely show from start to finish, and we're just getting started in terms of the Last of Us story. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.